All right, here with head coach Keith Dickson following the Hawks' 92-75 win against Assumption. Coach, I guess just kind of talk about how big this win is, bouncing back from Wednesday night's loss.
Well, I think anytime you're coming off a loss, the games are pretty big. We've got a new team, and you're trying to get a pulse on how they think and how they're going to react. And, we played, I thought, a very poor game against Southern New Hampshire on Wednesday. We just needed to respond, that our back needed to get up a little bit. And I don't think we played great today, but I thought we were ready. The game was physical, and we were ready for that. And so I'm proud of them. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but, we had to bounce back and get a win, and we did it.
What do you think it is about your teams, at least as of late, that kind of allow them to have that mentality that almost stoppers? It's not often you guys lose, 2 in a row.
I don't know. I think that's sort of been a program thing for a long time, Eric, to tell you the truth. It's like we don't feel bad for ourselves in any way. Like sometimes teams lose and 1 turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into 4, And that's usually teams that worry about stuff other than what's real, So, hey, we lost. We didn't play very well. Fine. That's not going to be the last game we're going to lose. And that's typically the message to all the teams that I've had. This team has great pride. These kids we've won a lot of games in the last couple of years with these kids, so I know they're not running away. And, we're not going to run the table, but, it's a good group and it's a tough group.
Good to see a couple of areas that I think you were uncharacteristically not good the first 3 games. Turnovers, free throw shooting kind of come back to normal tonight. Yeah,
and, we can't be the kind of team that's turning it over 18 times a game. I mean, the first 3 games were just, we're not going to be very good if we keep doing that, especially coming off 2 seasons of averaging 10 turnovers a game. You're almost doubling it. So we didn't have as many empty possessions today. We weren't greatly efficient, like we didn't shoot a real high percentage. We weren't great from 3, but we had more possessions, which turned into more foul shots, which turned into more points. So, yeah, I'm not going to say we're going to turn it over 7, but I don't want to be turning it over 20. So that was good. And most of those foul shots, I guess, were Roy. And it's just good to have Roy finally do something that gets back to being more like Roy, because he wasn't very good for the first 3 games.
Maybe my last question, how big is it to get him going, both for your season and then today kind of opening things up?
I just think we're completely different when he plays decent, and he's a big part of the team. Come on, he's been a good player for 3 years. He's gone up and down now for the last 2 years. He's gone through periods where he hasn't played very well. We've talked about this now. This is the 3rd year in a row. So when Roy is right and playing well, it just balances our team. And when he's not, you see that we struggle to beat better teams. And so, hopefully he's back on track and he can give us more consistent performances. As we don't need 37, but we need better than what he's been doing.
All right, here with senior Roy Mabrey, career high 37 points. I guess the obvious question is, after probably a start through the first 3 games that you weren't really happy with, got to feel good to come out kind of erupt like this.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's just a rough start, and then all I needed was to see a few go in and just keep it rolling. So, try to attack the basket more, get a little easier buckets than just launching from 3. So that definitely helped me out a lot and opened up the lanes more for everybody else too. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask, was that first tip-in pretty big? I think you missed 2 threes and a layup, got the tip-in, kind of got you going, and it seemed like you just got more aggressive from there, got to the line, and got stuff kind of inside that, to get you going.
Yeah, that's why I made sure. Like, I knew that before this game that I wanted to make sure I get to the basket, and because, again, once they think I'm going to the basket, they're going to sink in, and I'll start getting easier shots rather than just all catch and shoot with somebody in my face like I've been doing the last few games. So I think that, like I said before, got that tip in and just gave me a little boost of confidence and just kept going.
And for the team, how nice of a bounce back win, coming off Wednesday night against Snoop.
That's huge for us. That was a rough game against Snoop for us. So I think, especially with these guys, they just beat Bentley and they're tough. So we wanted to make a point that we're not, that game was a little bit of a fluke, and we wanted to come out and handle them.
All right, here with senior Chris Santo, 20 points on the afternoon. Talk about how big of a bounce back this win is coming off of Wednesday's game against Snoop.
It was good. the fact that we just lost, and we're young in some positions and inexperienced, losing Dino, losing Neil, losing Dom. It's going to be tough for us to face adversity a lot of times, and we're going to have to do it. And the way we handled it today was good. That's a tough, physical, chippy team. So the way that they played us today and the way that we handled the adversity was good. I mean, obviously the outcome was good.
Talk about ball security, just 7 turnovers after averaging 18 through the first 3 games.
Yeah, that was a big focal point for us coming into the game today. And Taylor and Vic handled the ball really well, and Mark at the point guard position, but everybody else did too. 40 minutes of not turning the ball over is big, because we can't just be giving away possessions in a league as competitive as this.
And lastly, how important is it to see Roy get going like that, both for the season and then today, kind of opening things up for you guys?
Yeah, it was huge. Roy is Roy, so the fact that he's playing like that, playing as well as he did today, opens up stuff for everybody, makes it really hard for us to guard. And if we can keep him playing at that high of a level, then it's going to be really tough to guard us, and we're just going to be better for it.